You fucking cunt. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, guys, I'm back in the studio chopping up matches. My entire body's being held together by staples right now, but I don't give a fuck. Today's match is from Michonoku Pro's Fukuman World League Lightweight Mask Tournament between Great Sasuke and Dirtbike Kid in the quarterfinals. Great Sasuke is the owner of Michonoku Pro, and he threw this tournament where everyone in it was wearing a mask. Thing is, Dirtbike Kid doesn't wear a mask, and he doesn't plan on doing it. The match took place on July 29th, 1999 at the Yahaba Townsman Gymnasium in Yahaba, Await, Japan. Get a shot of Great Sasuke jogging through his adoring fans, and he climbs up on the top rope. Sasuke takes something off his face. I guess it's another mask because he already has one on, and he hands it to his boy outside the ring. Hard cam zooms out, and we see that Dirtbike Kid's already in the ring. Ring announcer starts introducing Great Sasuke to the match, and dude, he's so fucking over, some woman just climbs into the ring and hands him a giant bouquet of fucking flowers. Sasuke's like, thank you, I appreciate that, but hands it to his boys on the outside of the ring. Both men stare at each other in opposite corners of the ring. Ring announcer introduces Dirtbike Kid into the match, and he rips his mask off for some reason. Guess he figured the mask on his face was enough, but dude, that's a huge sign of disrespect in Japan. Sasuke is so over with the crowd. When he gets introduced, they start throwing streamers into the ring back in 1999. Sasuke hands his jacket to the outside of the ring and kicks the streamers out of the way. He kicks the streamers out of the way. We get a shot of Dirtbike Kid adjusting that little mask on his face. Dirtbike takes off that chest plate and that big heavyweight belt and hands it outside the ring. Referee decides to pat down both men's legs. Ref calls for the bell, and we get the Japanese writing on the screen, and Dirtbike Kid hesitates at first but gives a drop kick to Sasuke. Dirtbike immediately shoots him into the ropes and gives him a big backdrop. I just want to point out how Dirtbike Kid is getting all of the offense in and throws Sasuke outside the ring. Dirtbike immediately goes into the corner and jumps over the turnbuckle with a somersault onto Sasuke. Dirtbike Kid sticks his arms up for the Japanese crowd, and they're like, stands Sasuke up to his feet and throws him back into the ring. Dirtbike immediately goes onto the top rope again and jumps off with a double axe handle onto Sasuke. He's still not done. Dirtbike Kid picks him up and gives him a falcon arrow. As you can see, Sasuke is still selling the moves though, and Dirtbike Kid goes for the pin and barely gets a 2 count. Wastes no time and picks Sasuke back up to his feet again and gives him some kicks and punches into the corner. Sits Sasuke on the top rope and climbs up there and gives him a top rope Frankenstein. Dirtbike goes for the pin and only gets a 1 count as Sasuke's like, get the fuck off me. Dirtbike goes right back on the offense and picks up Sasuke and gives him a scoop slam in the middle of the ring. Dirtbike immediately climbs to the top rope and jumps off, giving Sasuke a big splash. Goes for the pin again, and Sasuke throws him right off, like, get the fuck out of here. Dirtbike walks up and kicks him in the back and gives him another big scoop slam in the middle of the ring. Dirtbike immediately goes back up to the top rope. Dirtbike goes for another big splash, but Sasuke moves out of the way, and this is when the match gets interesting. So before the match, they told Dirtbike Kid that it was only going to be a 5-minute match, and he was pretty pissed about that. Pretty sure that's why he showed the disrespect and took the mask off. So Sasuke was always known for his brutal kicks, and he tries doing it to Dirtbike Kid. Middle kick. そしてそばっと。そしてもう一発いきます。もう一回振り上げていきました。この辺はもう矢継ぎ早に飛ばしていきます。もう一回そばっと。 Dirtbike would not sell any of Sasuke's kicks, and it got him so mad that he kicked him for real in the fucking stomach right where he had an injury and fucked him up. Said it multiple times in the past, but in case you guys don't know, Japanese wrestling is different from America. They take pride and respect in their wrestling. Dirtbike falls to his knees and Sasuke starts shooting on him with kicks.
おっと、戦闘不能になったか、しばらく動きが止まりました。潰しにかかってますね。ダードファイク。
Sasuke literally just jumped in the air and kneed the fuck out of him with all of his weight. He's still not over yet. He's got to get some more kicks in.
もう一回いきます。
As you could see, Sasuke's fucking pissed that Dirtbike Kid didn't sell those kicks. He definitely wanted him to fall down to the ground and he didn't. So he decided, I'll teach him a lesson. Sasuke's like, you know what, I'm just gonna end the match right here, and puts him in a Gravit hold. Gravit is actually a real wrestling hold, so Sasuke throws it on him and you hear this motherfucker scream. Check this out.
おー、でも入りましたよね、今ね。あーっと、フロントからネックロックで、お、これタップか。
Referee calls for the bell and Sasuke wins the match. Referee raises Sasuke's hand in victory as he walks around the ring. Camera zooms out and we see the referee checking on Dirtbike Kid, and he has some kind of bottle of something that's like spraying a mist onto his face, but I can't tell what it is. Ref raises Sasuke's hand again, and you could tell he's pissed off even though he has a mask on just by his body language. Starts running the ropes. I thought for a second that he was gonna run up and kick Dirtbike Kid in his fucking teeth. Busts out a sick round off and the referee starts saying something to him, but we can't hear him.
これお客さんもそれ待ち望んでいましたでしょう、矢幅の皆さん。
Sasuke goes into the corner and just stares at Dirtbike Kid.
ということは、まだダートバイクダメですけれども、手応え的にはこの試合に限ってはなかったと。
Sasuke walks up to Dirtbike Kid and throws his setup like, bro, let's fucking go. Dirtbike sticks his hand out for a handshake and Sasuke's like, nope.
のダートバイクキッドは負傷してしまいまして、この後欠場ということになってしまうんですね。
Sasuke walks through the adoring Japanese crowd as we get a shot of Dirtbike Kid bowing down to the crowd, and then he makes his way to the back, and that's a wrap on this match, guys. Sasuke moved on to the semifinals where he lost to Tiger Mask 4 in a match that lasted over 20 minutes. Sasuke ended up wrestling more than 900 more matches after this, but as for Dirtbike Kid, he only had one more match. Last match took place on August 5th, 2000 at FWA Evil Intentions About to Explode between him and Sabu, where Sabu was the XPW World Heavyweight Champion and he was the EWA European Junior Heavyweight Champion. He held that belt for over 900 days. Dirtbike ended up losing the match and he never wrestled again. He only wrestled 6 years, but he made it all the way to the UK, Japan, and America. Here's some footage from the FWA show. Sabu runs and jumps off Josh Lacey's back and puts Dirtbike Kid through the table with a leg drop. Dirtbike Kid was interviewed where he was asked about this match, and this is what he had to say. The interviewer said, "You lasted one night in the Michonoku Pro Wrestling's World Masked Man Tournament. Could you explain to the fans what exactly happened there?" Dirtbike Kid said, "I am not 100% sure myself really, and don't think I'll ever know the full score. I understand that there was a lot of shit stirring going on behind the scenes by some people who I was eventually told by Phyllis Lee that it was the British guys on the tour that were creating trouble for me behind my back, and I was unaware of this at the time. I had jetted out to Japan with an injury that I received at the FWA No Surprises show where I hurt my cartilage in my ribs. It wasn't that bad, and I felt that I had to wrestle with the injury. Somehow this information had also got back to Sasuke after all the trouble had already been put into motion. The first match on the tour was scheduled to be against Sasuke, and it wasn't until the guys were warming up in the ring before the show started to open that I began to smell a rat. And a pretty big one too. Sasuke had come up to me and basically told me that our match was only going to be 5 minutes. Now straight away, I wasn't happy with that, but I didn't show it. You see, none of this was agreed when I signed my contract, and apparently I heard they didn't like me trying trying to negotiate with them. But hey, Michonoku or not, if the terms aren't right, I am not fucking going. I am not a wrestling prostitute. Now, some of this needs to be brought up because this shit still smells from this incident and I don't like it. Sasuke said that I was going to dominate him for a while and then he would fight back in a real flurry and spin kick me for his big quick fucking submission finish. Well, I had apparently already pissed them off. Sorry for swearing so much, but it just annoys me because I refuse to wear the stupid mask that they made for me. Now, sorry, but the Dirt Bike Kid isn't a masked wrestler, so why the fuck did they want me on a masked man tournament? I managed to compromise with them and say that I'd wear it to the ring only and then rip it off where I would have my usual biking face mask that I usually wear during my ring entrance. They didn't like it, I could tell, but they agreed to it. Sasuke really didn't want to talk with me, so our match was not even 1% planned by the time we got to the ring. He obviously didn't offer me that kind of courtesy. When I got to the ring, I ripped off my mask and threw it at the ref, but not maliciously, just for show. Then Sasuke made his entrance, but I could tell once he was in there that the atmosphere wasn't quite right. But you know, I thought to myself that maybe it was just me being me. Match got underway and everything seemed fine, although it felt strained because there was no, and I mean no, resistance from him at all. He just did every single thing that I wanted. I was still pretty pissed at the 5-minute thing, but inside my head I agreed to do it and I wanted to be professional about it. It was the first match of the tournament and to see how things progressed and how the other guys fared against him, which I now know was a lot better than me. Just didn't want to go down like some lame arse 20-second comeback that made me look like Mickey Mouse. So when he started to come back, he kicked me twice to either side of my head, which was okay. Then wham, he hit me with his trademark spin kick that should have put me down. I didn't go down because I didn't want to. He hit me hard in the gut with a kick, but I just stood there selling, so he did it again. Wham, but I still wouldn't go down. I mean, Sasuke has to learn that if you try and fuck one of your wrestlers, they can fuck you back, and I was being treated like shit from the start of the tour. Kick, kick, wham, wham, wham. He kept kicking me, and I just stood there. And believe me, he was shooting on me by then. Sabu had always taught me not to let myself be stomped on, and I adhered to his every word. He would have been proud. And the big one came, wham again, but this time the kick caught me right under my ribs where my cartilage injury was, and I just fell like a chopped down tree. As all the air went out of my lungs in that 100-degree non-air conditioned hall, I knew I was seriously hurt, and I just laid there as Sasuke put the boots in, that fucking coward, and kicked me at least 3 times full on in the face while I laid there, not being able to breathe. I wanted to tell him, the ref, anybody, that I was hurt and to finish the match, but couldn't get any words out at all. The next thing I knew, Sasuke picked me up and went for a submission finish. Remember, he wanted to get a quick win over me, and I let him do it because I was gone, totally, and needed to get out. Only the asshole shot on me again and almost broke my neck, but I should have expected it. Now, my tour was finished, either through injury or the fact that my card was marked, but hey, I am a man, which is more than that fucking prick. It ended up full circle more by luck than anything else on his part, and I tried to act professional from the fans' perspective by offering my hand to Sasuke as he celebrated, even though I felt like shit. But Sasuke just gave me not a very nice hand gesture. If Sasuke didn't like me or had a problem with me, then he should have been upfront about it and said it to my face. Then if he still wanted to punch me, we could have arranged a shoot fight, which at least would have gave me some notice instead of the sucker punch he tried to line up for me. Killed his finish, but hey, he deserved it. It was only by my own misfortune that he still managed to get the quick win over me. It wasn't until the next day before my next match at that arena that I had to go to the hospital because I started to cough up blood. It was there that they told me that I had to have a minimum of 6 weeks off wrestling as my cartilage in my chest was badly cracked over my whole rib cage and that one more kick could be very serious. See, one small crack and now, lucky bastard, one big crack. I had to go back to England and the British guys apparently were lapping it up, especially Jason Cross, the no-good bastard who took great pleasure in seeing me go. I looked at it all like fate stepping in really, for you see, before I flew out, I was due to miss the birth of my first child, which was agreed with my wife, due to what we felt was an important work commitment that needed to be honored as it was my first tour of Japan. I was really split, mind you, and did think very hard about not going, but my wife helped persuade me. In the end, it just seemed like I was destined not to be there because when I got back, my wife gave birth a couple of days later and I never missed a thing. So a good ending really, although Sasuke needs to know that if it wasn't fate that intervened, I would still be standing there right now taking his fucking kicks. The interviewer asked, was there any sort of confrontation between you and the Michonoku boss Sasuke backstage before or after the event? No, although Jason Cross tried to stir one up from what I was told. I realize now after he yo-yoed between our dressing rooms trying to spark one, but Sasuke knew that I now knew that if something was amiss and that if he came looking, injury or no injury, he could and would get something back. But he never came looking, which was wise. Things seemed quite bad to the point where I didn't know who I could trust, honestly. Sabu was pissed when I told him about this and advised me to buy myself a big fucking razor blade to take with me to the ring just in case. You see, even though I was badly injured, I was still planning on wrestling, even though when I tried to move anything faster than a walk, I was in absolute agony. It was only after the doctors intervened that my mind was made up for me and that Michonoku couldn't and wouldn't let me wrestle anyhow for insurance reasons. Dirt Bike Kid went on saying that he made some good friends wrestling over there, but he said him and Sasuke still traveled at opposite ends of the bus and that Sasuke never made any attempt to apologize to him. The interviewer asked, "Do you believe the great Sasuke hit the kick stiff on purpose, or do you think he was trying to hurt you?" He answered, "Yes, as I've already stated, and like I said, I took all of them." The interviewer asked, "Have you spoken to Sasuke since?" And Dirt Bike Kid said, "No, I asked for a rematch by fax, but it wasn't even acknowledged, let alone answered. You see, a rematch doesn't suit their agenda. They have the victory over me, and that's that in their heads." The interviewer asked, "What were your overall thoughts of MPW?" Dirt Bike Kid said, "My experience wasn't good, but they have good wrestlers and generally have good shows, although it wasn't conservatively booked around Sasuke." Thanks for watching the video, guys. I know I haven't posted in a while. It's because I had my surgery. It set me back a little bit, but I'm back and I'm chopping up more matches. It's been a little while. I felt like I should drop a quick taking liberties for you guys. The match wasn't so bloody like most of my videos, but I figured you guys would still want to see it. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, motherfucker. Let me know if you guys think Sasuke took it too far in the comments. Also, Fancam Commentary here on YouTube shouted me out in their recent video, and I forgot to do it in my last vid, so I'm giving him a shout out back. If you're a wrestling fan, I highly suggest checking out his content. There'll be a link in the description. I'm just doing my part to help out a fellow YouTube wrestling commentator. Right now, my stomach is being held together by over 50 fucking staples. It's so crazy. That's the reason I haven't been posting as much as I usually do, if anyone doesn't know. Picture was in the hospital. Here's an updated picture of what my stomach looks like today. This shit's fucking nothing though. Nothing's gonna fucking stop me from making my videos. Over on Patreon, I just covered the Big Japan King of the Deathmatch 1998 tournament. It's so fucking dope, you guys have to check it out. Emma was fucking bleeding buckets and Shadow WX didn't give a fuck and just took barbed wire and started wrapping it around his fucking face. The match is so fucking sick. The tournament was so rare, I hadn't even seen it before. The semifinals, we saw no rope barbed wire matches with some sick fucking spots. EJW held the tournament by having a couple of different events within a month, and they finished it off with a no rope flaming barbed wire pane of glass coffin deathmatch. Less than $5 fucking dollars, you get to watch that whole tournament, the tournaments that I filmed, the live events that I filmed, the videos YouTube's too pussy to let me keep up, Patreon exclusive matches, shoot interviews, and more. You have to type it into your browser like I'm showing on the screen. It does not come up on the app. And that leaves me at my special thank you and major shout out to my Patreon family that I fucking love so much. That's Wolfie Kohaku, Garrett McNulty, Grant Stoppel, Matt Watch, Damian Edgerton, Andrew, Logan Flanagan, CL Vision, Jack Egan, Crashy, Benjamin Ailing, CEO, Ashmore Cook, Dylan Petricelli, Brain Wrongs, Yogi Dig, Nicholas Cron, Jeremy McNarley, Doc, Martin Guerrero, Jake Steele, Baker, David R, Chris Graham, KJR, Damo, Derek, Human Horror, Silence Enigma, Rob Gatewood, Orion Bailey, Hollow Point, Evan Davies, my new best friend Christian, Stuart McFerrin, Connor Doherty, Alex Byrne Tattoos, Tracy Worrell, Moise Navid, Adam James Kelly, Andy Bauer, Ray-Ban, Trav, Stefan Metz, Brian Wargotch, Six Shot 616, Josh Taylor, Ron Major, Matthew Mandela, Christopher Perellas, Dylan Mullins, Diesel, King 2021, Gabriella Chan, Charlie, John Bottario, Diego Ortiz, Chase Wolf, Shane, Brian Culp, Con S95, Tyler Brock, James Coe, Original Scum, Dylan Malloy, Shane Morgan. Patreon family's growing so fucking big, I can't even fit all the names on one fucking screen. Shit doesn't stop there. We still got It's Duck Sandwich Films, Calculating Infinity, Mr. Tobias, The Sorry Dude, Nick Normal, William Sinson, UILNR, Swids Music, Patty Von Clambit, Yogi, Michael Fisher, Foros, Bob the Man, Bong Studley, Danny Flores, Isaac Birdsong, Charbel Kerswani, Tristan McPeak, and Grave Memories. I love you motherfuckers with all of my fucking heart, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.